Hey guys, welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the San Francisco Giants. And we're about at opening day, and I can move around in my chair here so you'll hear some squeaks and some noises from my chair, but sorry about that. We're almost at opening day year 4. And I don't know if you can tell by our starting lineup, but we made a trade. I spent probably a good hour trying to find the best possible move, and this was it. What's the saying? The best trade is one where both teams are unhappy, and I don't know if the other team is necessarily unhappy with this deal. I wasn't thrilled with it, but I think it was a necessity, and I'll kind of explain why. So you can see top of our lineup, we've got Jarren Duran listed as our new starting center fielder, and that's because we traded Jung-Hoo Lee to the Red Sox. If we look at, we made 2 trades, so we'll look at this one first. So Jarren Duran, we trade, where is it? It's 125. We traded. It's not going to work that way. Well, it doesn't look great. So we pick up Jarren Duran, Ron Marinaccio, and Isaac Coffey from the Red Sox, and we send them Jung-Hoo Lee. We traded AJ Puk. This was the piece that I was not all that thrilled about. But I'll explain why I included him in a minute, and then Diego Gonzalez, who's just a backup catcher that they want. So we pick up Jarren Duran. Good defense. I mean, he's basically Jung-Hoo Lee light if we compare the two of them. Nope, not AJ Puk. If you look at the two of them, they're pretty comparable. Jung-Hoo Lee's, I'd say a better hitter. He's got a better batting eye. I don't know that he's necessarily a better hitter. He's got a better batting eye. Contact is comparable, 65 versus 60. Gap power goes the way of Duran. Home run power goes the way of Duran. And then I and avoid K goes the way of Jung-Hoo Lee. So Lee's likely to have maybe a slightly higher batting average, slightly higher on base percentage, whereas Duran's likely to hit for a little bit more power. They're both lefties. Again, Lee's probably the better batter. Base running, or I guess speed, is better for Duran, so he'll steal some bases for us. Defensively, they're pretty comparable. Jung-Hoo Lee has the better arm, 60 versus 45, but range and error, they're the same. Duran, a little bit more positional flexibility, play the infield a little bit better than Lee is. The biggest difference, obviously, is the contract, right? Jung-Hoo Lee is making $22 million this year and then $20.5 each of the next 2, whereas Jarren Duran's making $6. So we retained 20% of the contract. So we're paying Lee $4 million this year. We're paying him about 4, I think it's 4.6, 4.8, something like that. So that saves us this year about $10 million when you factor in the 6 that we made that we're going to be paying Duran. And then Duran is I think he's ARB eligible for next season, right? Can't remember at this point. Yeah, he is, $8 million. So we've got him for $8 million next season, which is big considering we've got a couple of ARB numbers that are going to be spiking here over the next year or 2. You look at Matos at 9.9. You look at Harrison at 20. So we got a couple of ARB numbers that are going to spike. So I'm a big proponent of value, and my feeling is that Duran will give us 80% of what Jung-Hoo Lee gave us for 20% of the cost. Obviously, giving up Puk hurts, but when you look at Puk's numbers, last season, 1.27 whip, not terrible by any stretch. 1.3 home runs per 9 is fine, but again, that's San Francisco 1.3. Might be a little bit different in Boston. 3.2 walks per 9, 15 Ks per 9. Obviously, struck out a ton of batters. Had a pretty high BABIP, so maybe the numbers should have been better than what he did. He gave us a league slightly above average league ERA and a pretty good WAR. Let's take a look at his expanded stats. Um, 2.94 FIP. Yeah, I mean, he didn't have a bad season. He's making 4.5 million, so that's another contract that we're able to move off the books. And I think he just had a dip, and yeah, his overall just dropped. His his movement dropped back in June. His stuff just dropped. So I have a feeling his numbers are going to trend the other direction. So in return, we pick up Duran. We pick up Isaac Coffey, who looks like a pretty good fourth or fifth starter. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to use him, but 55, 50, 60, and then fastball, curveball, changeup. I mean, I think he could be a good swing man for us. Wasn't particularly good last year, but he's still making the league minimum, and that has value. And then Marinaccio was just he was in AAA, but I loved the 3 pitches and the extreme fly ball. I don't think necessarily is going to hurt him as much in San Francisco as it will in Tampa or New York. But 65 stuff, 55 movement with 3 really, really good pitches. So that's the first deal we made. And then to turn around and fill in that spot where we traded AJ Puck, we picked up Scott Barlow, who was on the trade block. We got the Chicago Cubs to retain 40% of that. So we're paying him about $8 million this year. It's a 1-year contract, and in return, we send them Edgar Romero, decent contact, good avoid K. Maybe, I mean, he's got the arm for right field, high work ethic. Not a great eye, not great power, so I wasn't too fussed about giving him up. Barlow wasn't great last year, but 4 of the last 6 seasons, he's been well above average. 3+ pitches, 65, 55, 50. So stuff's not quite as good as Puck, but the movement's better and the control is the same. So I think so. We end up turning AJ Puck and Jung-Hoo Lee into Duran, Coffey, Barlow, Marinaccio, and save this season. This season we saved about $6 million or so. Next year we're saving a bunch. So those are the 2 deals that I made. Let me know what you thought. Did I get hosed, or am I thinking the right way? Again, I think Duran can give us that value for less than for significantly less than what we're paying Lee. So we have to set our rosters. So we have 35 players in our big league roster. We got to cut that number down. So Small, Miller. I don't know that they're both going to be able to go down. Yeah, Ethan Small. Let's just try. I don't think anybody's going to want a 30-year-old left-handed reliever. Samad Taylor. He's 28. And that's some decent positional flexibility. He's pretty good with the bat. That's fine. I'll make that deal. We might end up having to DFA Taylor, but it's okay. Can I put him on the 40-man and then just send him to AAA? I can't. All right, so we may end up keeping him. I don't know. We'll take a look. I'm going to send 2 more pitchers down. Who are those pitchers going to be? And Mason Black really is making a push to stay on the big league roster. He's pitched 7 major league games, and he's only given up 2 earned runs in 22 innings. I mean, I think he's earned it at this point. Dabovich can go down. Can we trade reliever without? No, I was going to say, can we trade reliever without options for reliever with options? And it doesn't look like we can, so we'll just DFA RJ Dabovich. And we're going to send 1 more pitcher down. I mean, the easy choice is Mason Black. None of our pitchers were particularly bad. How much is Zapuki making? He's only making 1.2 this year. His contract next year is 1.5. That's reasonable. Mason Miller's about to get expensive. He's about to get expensive. That's okay. We can afford it, or we should be able to afford it, I guess. Funderburk we picked up at the deadline last year. He's an extreme ground ball guy. It can't be Howard, Barlow, or Coffey because I think we need the right-handers. It's got to be 70, 50, 45. He's an extreme fly ball. I think it's going to be Zapuki. He's out of options. Is there anybody? Does he have options left? That's not where I wanted to go. Funderburk has one option year left. So it'll be him for now. And we'll see how it goes. So Harrison, strict on occasion, start highly rested. We will bump these up to 110. And I'm thinking about making Mason Miller a stopper. I'm thinking about making Mason Miller a stopper. Let's try it. It might backfire, and if it does, we'll move him back into a closer role. But I just feel you want to use your best pitchers as much as possible, and he's one of our best pitchers. Does he want to be a starter? Yeah, he wants to be a starter. I think that's part of the reason his ARB number is so high. So we'll try him as a stopper and see how it goes. Make him we'll make Bummer the backup closer. I want to see what that looks like. Barlow is the setup. Bummer and Coffey is middle relief. Zapuki and Howard is long relief. Lavender. Yeah, I mean, he's good against both, but really unhittable against lefties. And then Mason Black, the long relief and middle relief. Yep. All right. And I think that means we have to send 5 down. Yeah, 5 hitters have to go to the minors. All right. So, I was going to say, I just brought back Joey Bart. 55, 60, 65, 60, 65, 60. Wait, 65, 60. All right, that's fine. I don't think anybody's. I guess we can see if anybody wants Ali Sanchez. No, nobody wants Ali Sanchez. All right. It's fine. I have to sneeze. Bear with me. Excuse me. Ugh. All right, so we got to send 5 down. So one of them is going to be Fitzgerald. Ramos is probably out of options at this point. No, they're both out of options. Fitzgerald, I'm fine with DFAing. Nobody has ever wanted Ramos. I got to send ahead of day. No one has ever wanted Ramos. I don't suspect anyone's going to want him now. But we'll look. Nope. All right, let's go ahead and DFA. So that puts us at 28. We still have to send 2 players to the minors. I think the easy options are Serna and Schmidt. I hate the fact that Casey isn't going to get a look in this version of the game for us, but that's okay. All right, so there is our 26-man roster. We got a bunch of players on waivers. What I need to do is, before next season starts, is I need to change the start date of the schedule because I can never remember when. Normally with Out of the Park Baseball, you get to opening day, the day before opening day, and you can look at the waiver wire and you can see who is on waivers. And I can never remember what day that is now because technically opening day is the 25th, but our first game isn't until, are we playing? I think, looks like we might be playing the early game this season in Korea is where the game ends up being played. Interesting. Okay. All right, so we got to set our lineup. So we are going to go with Matos in left. Then Duran. I put Duran. Okay, I see what I did there. Matos, Duran. Oh, come on. What is wrong with me? There we go. Matos, Duran. Vlad. DH, because he's not as good at first as Manzardo. Right, yeah. Nolan Jones batting fourth at third. Royce Lewis will bat fifth at second. Carlson in right will bat sixth. Manzardo at first will bat seventh. Ortega at short will bat eighth. And Trevino doing the catching will hit ninth. It's a pretty well-rounded lineup, and Luciano's not going to get much playing time. Somebody told me that someone in one of my comments said he wasn't the answer, and I think we might be right. He is going to be our starting first baseman against lefties, but those are a dime a dozen. So, just kind of take a look and see what sorts of offers are available for a Marco Luciano. Maybe he's a trade deadline chip, depending on what we need, we can go out and use Luciano to improve ourselves someplace. Yohandy Morales looks okay. Max Wagner is a righty. Yeah, even Wagner would be a better option as the left-handed or the right-handed side of our platoon. He's good bat, good speed, good defensively. Or good enough defensively, and he's making the league minimum. He wasn't good last year, but Victor Mesa, ton of speed, but I don't really need an outfielder. So yeah, I think I might hold off until the deadline, and maybe we move Paul Skeens. What happened here? 24. Wow. Did they rush him? He was drafted, 23, right? First pick last year. Yeah. So he was called up in 2024. It wasn't bad. A 2.6 WAR, 106 ERA plus. Huh. Interesting. Garrow is a name that I've seen a couple of times when I've offered up Luciano. Again, not a lot of power, but good contact, get on base a bunch. So yeah, I think we hold off until the deadline. Herberto Hernandez has got a good bat, especially against lefties. Yeah, so there are some options. We'll see how he does. Maybe he has a great season playing primarily against lefties. Who knows? Otto Lopez. Infield 55, 60, 55, 55. So he's literally better than Luciano everywhere. But we're going to do this. All right. So we'll copy, paste. We will put Luciano in at first. The rest of the lineups, I think we're going to do this. We're going to move Duran down against lefties. Do something like that. Because he's not... it's fine. 55 contact, 60 gap, 45 power and eye, 55... he's fine against lefties, but Lewis is obviously much, much better. So, Matos, Lewis, Guerrero, Nolan Jones, Dylan Carlson against lefties. I think we'll run with something like that. And I do want Luciano to play almost every game against lefties. So we'll do something like that. And we'll get to opening day. All right. So nobody got claimed, which is good. Play 500 ball. Top 100 prospects. We don't have anybody. Where is our minor league system? Seventh. Ramirez, Yanes, and Bolivar. So all international guys, which again isn't a surprise. I think this is the first year where the draft pool is. Yeah, this is the first year where the draft pool is really good because it's almost all made up by the game. So yeah, we've good draft pool this year. Oof, this would be the guy. Oof. Okay. Anyway, opening day, and I think Arizona is pitching that international guy that was available last season. Where do they think we're going to end? Preseason predictions. 88 and 74. Webb on there. And we're actually going with a different look here today. We're going to be starting Kyle Harrison. So they got Jake McCarthy batting leadoff, Tommy Troy. Look at the middle of that lineup, man. Corbin Carroll, Jordan Lawler, Wilmer Flores, who's had 2 nice seasons in Arizona. The numbers haven't regressed, so he's doing a nice job for them. Back-to-back 100 RBI seasons. We got Vlad over at first. He has back-to-back 100 RBI seasons. Actually, 3 straight now. Gabriel Marrero, Geraldo Perdomo is their DH. De Los Santos at third. J.P. Crawford out in right field. Okay. And Jesus Ramos. Yeah, he's that guy, the international guy, 33 years old, 6'4", 220. For us, it's Matos, Duran, Vlad, Jones, Lewis, Carlson, Manzardo, Arteaga, Trevino, with Kyle Harrison getting his first opening day start. So let's see how opening day goes. It shows us in San Francisco, but we're actually in Korea because we're the home team for this game, and then Arizona is the home team for the next game. So we're not actually in San Francisco, but it is a home game for us. And this is a beautiful, beautiful ballpark. This is one of the parks I wish I could go see. And I got family that lives out in San Francisco. I really should go visit them and have them take me to a Giants game for sure. So Jake McCarthy with a leadoff single. And steals second right off the bat. You get a strikeout. Corbin Carroll hits it to right, and a diving catch out in right field by Dylan Carlson. Jordan Lawler to left. So leadoff single and stolen base goes for naught. Ramos against Matos, who's a side armor. Did that bounce over the wall, or is he just going to keep running? Yeah, it's a ground rule double over the center field wall. So Duran against Ramos now. His first at bat as a Giant is a strikeout. Now Vlad with a base hit to left center field. And Matos will score. All right, so Vlad comes up with a big RBI single in the first. And Jones strikes out. Royce Lewis. So he strikes out the side, but gives up a double and a single, and we take the lead. Wilmer Flores grounds to Arteaga. Gabriel Moreno strikes out. And Perdomo strikes out. And I'm always afraid that I didn't change the pitch counts. I believe I changed them to 110. I guess we'll find out in like the 5th inning, right? All right, Dylan Carlson leads off the second with a base hit. Manzardo picks up, he grounds out to second. Nice play over there. The runner at second with 1 out. Arteaga grounds it to short. The runner's now at third with 2 outs for Trevino. And Trevino hits it to center, and diving catch. Dos Santos. There's a diving catch. A lot of diving catches here in the early going in San Francisco. Harrison hits McCarthy. McCarthy's going to try to steal again, and this time he only does. He's 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Wild pitch will send him to third. And yet another diving catch. So they strand McCarthy again. We'll send the top of the order up. Matos grounds out to third base. Duran. He's going to beat that one out because he's uber fast. Now Vlad grounds to short, and they'll turn over the double play. Harrison against Carroll, leading off the fourth. There's a fly ball to the left. Not a diving catch, but a sliding catch this time. Lawler pops it up on the infield. How many pitches does Harrison have? 51. Flores will ground out to Manzardo. Another 1-2-3 inning. Jones leads off the bottom of the fourth with a base knock. Royce Lewis now strikes out. Carlson. Deep fly out, and Manzardo will come up with 2 outs and a runner at first. And did he get enough of it? No. Off the bat, that looked like it was enough, but it died. Moreno leading off the fifth. He strikes out. Now Perdomo hits it to center. Duran is there. And De Los Santos strikes out. Halfway through it, it's 1-0. Ortega leads off. Pop out to left. Trevino. We're going to have to figure out our catching situation after this year. Matos grounds back to the pitcher, so 1-2-3 fifth. Crawford leading off in the sixth with a ground out to second. Now McCarthy, can we get him out this time? That would be great. Ball to third. And we do retire him this time. Now Troy flies out to left. So another 1-2-3, assuming it's caught. I don't want to make any assumptions. He does make the catch. Top of the order, or second, I guess our number 2 hitter, Duran. Will fly out to right. Vlad now hits it to left. 2 away. Jones strikes out. Offense at a premium here on opening day. Corbin Carroll rounds at the third. Jones throws him out. Jordan Lawler gets hit by a pitch. Flores strikes out. Moreno to left. I'll get down for a hit. It should just be a single. It is. So 2 on, 2 outs for Geraldo Perdomo. He walks. The bases are loaded. De Los Santos. Balk in a run. Bull. Ground ball to short. And there's the 6-3 putouts. They score a run on a balk. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Jesus Ramos is still out there. Popped up on the infield. One out. Carlson grounds out. Manzardo strikes out. Mason Miller coming in here in the 8th. 9-1-2. There's a strikeout. Ground ball to second. 2 away. And Tommy Troy strikes out. They going to stick with Ramos? They are. He's thrown how many pitches? 90 through 7. That's it. Wow. Okay. Ortega pops it up on the field. And this is what happened to Harrison a ton last year. A lot of no decisions. Gave us 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, and just no decision after no decision. So they bring in somebody here in the 8th, Frias. He gets Trevino to pop out. My guess is we see Miller in the 9th as well. Matos is 1 for 3. Make him 1 for 4. Mason Miller's still out there. 3-2 on Corbin Carroll. Leadoff walk. Not good. And he steals second. Intentional walk. Jake Fox with a fly ball to the left. 1 out. Gabriel Moreno grounds it to first. He steps on the bag. 2 outs. Runners on second and third and Perdomo. Oof. Oh. Ortega lands on his elbow, but the catch is made. So we go to the bottom of the 9th, and they've got Luis Frias. We've got Duran, Guerrero, and Jones. Duran with a line drive to right. That gets down for a base hit. So Jaron with a couple of hits in his debut. Vlad bangs it to left. Oh, it's a second time off the bat. It looked like it was a home run. Owen Jones to center. 2 away. There's a base hit to center. Duran makes the turn. He'll go to third. Lewis into second on the bad play. So we have runners on second and third with 2 outs for Dylan Carlson. Base hit wins it. Carlson decides to end it with a bomb. Dylan Carlson to deep center field. 477 feet to center field for the walk-off game winner, Dylan Carlson. So we get 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 7 Ks for Harrison. Miller comes in, 2 innings, 2 walks, 2 Ks, gets the win. Duran, 2 hits. All in all, a solid opening day. We get an achievement for a walk-off homer, and that is how opening day ends. I am now going to sim to the end of April. We'll come back, and we will do May together. Hang tight. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. It is May 1st, and we're in second place. We're 15 and 13. We started out. Oops, not where I wanted to go. We started out. Where am I going here? No, that's not where I'm going either. I wanted to go here. We started out 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7-1, and then finished the month 15 and 13. So we went 8 and 12 in our last 20, including losing 4 of our last 5. And it was our pitching, believe it or not. Our bullpen has not been good. Even our starters, only our top 3 starters have been good. I expect it to turn around just because of who we are, but Harrison and Webb have been really good. Luzardo's been fine. Canning and Cease haven't been particularly good so far. Canning 342 BABIP, Cease 370, so I expect those numbers to come down. Mason Miller has given up runs in 2 of his 15 outings. He's been outstanding. He's on pace for 4.5 WAR out of the bullpen. Our top 5 pitchers, really, when you add in Bummer, have all been fantastic. It's just been the rest that haven't been great here in the early going. I expect this to settle down. We do have a new pitching coach, though, so we'll see how that affects things. From an offensive perspective, Vlad having a really nice first month. 4 homers, 17 RBIs. Carlson, 0.6 WAR, 101 OPS, just above average with the bat. Matos has been below average with the bat this year. Manzardo and Lewis have been good. And Luciano, in limited playing time, has been okay. So, it's been some of the players that performed really well for us previously are not. So it hasn't been great, but I suspect that ultimately we'll be all right. We got Austin here for 3 games. So let's just start simming. We lose 3-0. We got Luzardo on the mound. We win 7-6 and 10. Matos 4 hits, a couple of RBIs. Vlad with a triple and a home run. Manzardo has 4 hits and an RBI. Luzardo goes 6 2/3, gives up 4. Barlow blows the save. Bummer picks up the win. Final game against Austin is a 3-2 victory. Griffin Canning with a good start here, 7 1/3, 2 earned runs. Nolan Jones hits 2 home runs in this one, 2 solo home runs, but 2 home runs nonetheless. Now we got Milwaukee for 3. Milwaukee 19 and 10. We win 5-1. Dylan Cease, his best start of the year, 7 shutout. Miller gives up a run, but that's okay. 3 hits and an RBI for Jones, 2 hits and an RBI for Lewis. Manzardo not providing a ton of pop, only 2 home runs so far, but on pace for 80 RBIs and nearly 4 WAR. There's an 8-3 loss with Kyle Harrison on the mound. Then a 4-2 win. So we take 2 out of 3 against Milwaukee. We give up 14 hits, but still manage to win. Luciano and Vlad each homer. Webb gives up 11 hits in 7 innings. Miller and Bummer. I think it might be the Mason Miller as a closer thing, or as a stopper thing that's doing it. I think we'll just leave him in that role for now. All right, San Diego. 6-3 win. We lose Alec Thomas for a couple of weeks. Who do we call up? Not Ramos. Samad Taylor, I think, because he can play all over the diamond. Do I have somebody who can play a really good defensive center field? I don't think we do. Fitzgerald doesn't have the range for it. Yeah, we'll call up Samad Taylor. I guess he'll be that backup guy. Luciano can play the outfield, right? Yeah, we can make him our backup right fielder too. Oops. We had Otto Lopez. All right, so we won 6-3. What do we got? Matos with a double. Lewis with his 5th home run. Luzardo 5 1/3. Yeah, it's been a lot of win-loss. There's back-to-back losses, and now we lose Manzardo for 6 weeks. That's not ideal. What do we do? I don't know that we have a bat to call up. Guess we'll call Serna up. Just make Luciano the starting. Nope, make Luciano the starting first baseman. Yeah. So not great. Bullpen. Yeah, there's something going on here. I think we need to go back to a normal. Because Barlow hasn't been good. Let's see how this works. Harrison pitches today at Pittsburgh. There's a what is going on? So we lose 3 starters in 3 days. Duran a couple of hits. Harrison gets the win. This is ugly. And I can't sit here and say that I traded all my depth because, I just, all right, so what do we do now? I think we'll make Duran our leadoff hitter. Make Carlson our leadoff hitter against lefties. So we're missing a left fielder. Samad's fine in left. I think Taylor can play left field against lefties. Who plays left field against righties? I guess Ramos, but it's just awful. Jones. Can Otto play left? Yeah, he can. All right, so we're going to make Otto Lopez our starting left fielder. We'll just let the AI set the depth charts. All right. Now, we're dealing with some injuries here. Manzardo, Thomas, and Matos both out for a while. The game against Pittsburgh. Can we get a 2-game winning streak here? 11-5 with the victory. Serna gets the start at second base, and it's his first 2 big league home runs in his major league debut. Vlad 3 hits, Jones 2, Luciano, Carlson, Arteaga, who's hitting 168. That doesn't make any sense at all with those ratings, especially against lefties. Webb gets the win even though he gives up 5. We get the sweep over Pittsburgh. We cannot. We lose 1-0. Now we got Arizona. There's a 1-0 win. So we lose 1-0 and then win 1-0. Luciano with the only RBI. Canning 6 1/3 shutout. He's not doing badly this year. An 854 OPS. And I think we were hiding him a little bit at first base against lefties, but that's fine. Because right now we need him. All right, Dylan Cease pitching today. There's another one. Back-to-back shutouts over Arizona. Vlad 3 for 4. Jones with a home run. Cease goes 6 shutout. Then we look for the sweep over Arizona. We don't get it. Harrison, that ERA is climbing. I don't like his ERA at 3.5. Now we got the Dodgers, who are 2.5 games ahead of us. Get a game and a half ahead of us as we rock them with a 12-4 victory. Nolan Jones, 3 hits, 4 RBIs. Arteaga homers. Lopez, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Webb, 8 innings, 4-run ball. Civale now against Jesus Luzardo. Another win, this time 4-3, and Royce Lewis gets suspended for 4 games. Vlad with home run number 7. Nolan Jones with home run number 7. Zardo goes 6 1/3 with 11 Ks. So we're a half game back, looking to move into first place. And we do. We sweep LA at home, a 9-4 victory. Vlad's just having a fantastic season. 3 for 3, 3 RBIs. He's on pace for 25 and 106, but over 5 WARs. The power's been down a little bit. That average is super high. Duran not really hitting. 8 stolen bases on the year. I want him stealing more. Carlson with a 3-run double. Canning goes 6. Old friend Colby Aird. Colby Aird? I don't know how to pronounce it. Colby Aird, I guess. Back up to third in runs against. So pitching staff settling down here a little bit in May. Just as I say that, we give up 11. All right, so Ramos can now get DFA'd first. Alec Thomas, who got the start in this one? Cease didn't make it out of 3. All right. Lineups. So Alec Thomas will now go in left field against righties and against lefties. How's Taylor doing? He's hitting fine. I'm gonna leave Taylor in there against lefties. All right. Game 2 against Philadelphia is a 2-0 victory. So there's a Kyle Harrison start. You like to see that. Vlad with another home run. And Harrison went 6 1/3, didn't get the win. Yeah, bullpen seems to have settled down since I made that move. Game 3 against Philadelphia is a 6-5 loss. Final game against Aaron Nola is an 8-4 win. So we take 3 out of 4 from Philly. Vlad, 2 hits, 6 RBIs. So I just talked about how the power was down this year. I take that back. He's now on pace for 36 and 133. Everybody had at least 1 hit. Ortega's got that average up to 192. Luzardo goes 7 1/3 to get the win. Barlow has, I think, settled down here in the month of May. A little bit. All right, now we got Milwaukee. Then we'll take a look at the stats and everything when we get to the end of the month. 4-2 loss. Behind Griffin Canning. Now Dylan Cease. Another loss. So we're back into a first-place tie. Harrison on the mound. There's another loss. 3 straight losses. Now Baltimore. There's a 6-2 win, and we got a race. Look at this. 3.5 games separate first place from last. Vlad hitting 347. He's having a great year. Ortega homers, Jones homers, Webb 7 1/3. Luzardo going here. There's a 4-1 victory. Joey Bart 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Luzardo pitches well. Miller gets the save. I think we got 1 day left in May, right? There's 31 days in May. Yeah. Matos is back in 2 weeks. Manzardo's back in 3. Yeah, because this top of the order isn't cutting it right now. Serna. Let's try this. Carlson batting leadoff against both lefties and righties. We've got our best on base percentage, so we'll try that. All right, final game of the month. Griffin Canning. It's an 8-7 loss, and we lose Duran for 6 weeks. So Lewis has 3 hits. Bummer gets hit hard. Yeah, our pitching staff is just not good this year. I don't want to fire our pitching coach here early, but I mean, the one change to our team is that we have a new pitcher, a new pitching coach. Works well with power pitchers. We're going to fire our pitching coach. Oh, he has no interest in being our pitching coach. Of course not. All right, we're going to hang with him then, I guess, and just sort of see where this goes. All right, we get to the next month. Anybody of note? Colton Hartman has been really good in A-ball so far. I don't know that he's ever going to turn into much, but he's been really good so far. We can actually move him to high A. Bryce Eldridge, he continues to struggle. What's his bat look like? Should we just make him maybe we just make him an outfielder? How's this hitting? I mean, he's raking. 24 home runs in 42 games in A-ball. All right, we're gonna stop, and we're gonna make him a right fielder, and we're gonna send him to Double-A. Austin Kellner gets a little better. Caminiti gets worse. That's not great. Still decent enough ratings. Zion Rose gets better. Like to see that. All right. So it hasn't been we're tied for first, so I can't say it hasn't been a good start. You have to think that if our pitching sorts it out, and we've been good defensively this year for a change, you have to think that if our pitching sorts it out, we'll be fine. We just got to grind through these injuries, I guess. All right, so with Duran out, we're missing a center fielder, so that makes Alek Thomas our starting center fielder. Yes, against both lefties and righties, which isn't wonderful, but so we're missing a left fielder. Let's give Serna a shot. Let's give him a shot in left and see how it goes for a couple of weeks. All right. So offensively, Vlad, Jones, Carlson. Royce Lewis has been fine too. How's he doing defensively this year? Much better. Good. Okay. See, our top 4 hitters have been fine, but that's been it. Everybody else has been below average. Well, I guess to be fair, we've got a couple players who have been like Manzardo has been really good this year, but he's hurt. Matos has been slightly below average, but I think that'll even out. We're being carried offensively by Vlad, 342, 12 homers, 45 RBIs. It's on pace for almost 6 WAR. So offensively, we're being carried by Vlad and Nolan Jones to a lesser extent. Again, a lot of his value, I think, probably comes from his defense. But offensively, we're looking okay. Luciano continues to be bad. That average down under 200. We ask for just hitters. Yeah, that guy with the White Sox isn't there anymore. Colson Montgomery. Just for giggles. Headed to the circular file. Okay. What about, where is that first baseman, Max Wagner? Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we're there yet, but the potential exists that we're gonna need a bat here, which isn't a surprise. But I was hoping not to trade a bat for a bat, so we'll see how it goes. And then pitching, yeah, it's been a weird season from a pitching perspective. Our starters have all been all right, I guess. Webb and Harrison have been fine. Those ERAs are a bit high, but I mean, they've been fine, I guess. Mason Miller's been really good. Luzardo's been fine as our number 3. FIP is a little bit higher than his ERA. Canning's the other way around, and so is Cease. So I have a feeling these two improve a little bit. Luzardo gets a little bit worse. I think when the season's over, our starting pitching is fine. I can't believe the potential exists that we're going to need bullpen help in July, but I guess that's a possibility. Duran is on here. I can't afford him, but he's on here. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, okay, well, that's not happening. Jax is out for the year. Yeah, so far nobody great on the block. Ooh, wow. He's been bad. Can I pick up someone like Mackenzie Gore and make him a bullpen arm? Okay. He might be our catching solution next year. He's not great, but he looks all right. Kim's not quite there. One Ortega. No. There's got to be a way to make this work. Yeah, I can't trade Coffee. He's been one of the few pitchers that's been solid for us. Nope. Ortega. Yeah, Bolivar is like my one like decent prospect who's not in rookie ball or not in the international complex. I can't do that. And I feel like we're close. I feel like we can probably make it happen. If I like Jam. I was about to say I like Wood, and then I stopped myself. Serious offer. Varsho would give us that backup outfielder that doesn't really help our hitting situation. He's making $22 million for the next 4 years. That's an awful deal. What did you guys do there? I'm looking for a bat. Like if I can figure out a way to get a bat from them as well, then I can include Luciano. Do that and do this. Hartle. I mean, the list gets longer, but it's just more players I don't want to trade. This is a lefty. Doesn't really. I thought Robert Hassel had more power than that. Maybe I'm just thinking about somebody else. Because obviously they're not going to trade Cruz, House, or Abrams. I mean, so there's not even a reason to ask. Oh, man, Brady House looks good. Wow, yeah, he looks good. All right, so I'm going to sit on this. Not make any deal right now, but there are some options. There are some ways we can go. Picking up Mackenzie Gore, trying to maybe put together, a prospect. Maybe we go with Hartle. Maybe that is the move. So we're going to have to do something here to improve our bullpen. It just hasn't been good. I mean, because I can't really send anybody down. They're all out of options. I mean, I can't imagine someone like Spencer Howard gets claimed given the year he's having. But again, I can't, and even his BABIP's even low, so he hasn't even pitched well. I can't imagine. I don't know. We're just going to sit on it for now. Next episode, we'll get to the draft and the trade deadline, and I think we'll end up making at least one change. We'll make a change probably to our. I mean, we'll get Matos and Manzardo back in July, which will help. But I think we make a move to the bullpen. Barlow has been a bust, and I hate to look and see how Puck is doing in Boston. He's out with a strained tricep, but he was really, really good. Jung-Hoo Lee has been hitting okay for the Red Sox, basically league average. So, yeah, I mean, I think we lost that trade, but we gained flexibility in the long run, which I think is more important. So yeah, we'll come back next episode. We'll do July, and hopefully we can have a successful month and we can figure out our pitching and once again figure out our offense. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.